Morning, guys. Nearly afternoon, actually. Bit of a lazy Tuesday today. Did not want to get out of bed early and head down to the store at 9 like I usually do. But I'm not scheduled to be in till 11 today anyway. And we're getting there. It's about 10:50 now. And we're about to come down the pulley. But it does look like the pulley might have some traffic. Assuming they're still doing grass trimming in the median. That's what they were doing yesterday. So yep, looks like one lane is shut down. So let's go for a little ride. Instead of going down the pulley, we are gonna take the back road, which is a nice windy little back road. We can have a little bit of fun in the Mach-E. After all, it is a Mustang. So contrary to popular belief, if you guys haven't driven one of these things are pretty sporty. They handle pretty darn good. They are a heavy SUV, of course. I don't know exactly how much these things weigh, but this thing's got to be over 4,000 pounds easy. But being an electric vehicle, a majority of that weight is way down low in the battery packs. So they have a pretty low center of gravity and they do pretty good in the turns. This road that we're coming down, I forget what it's actually called, but it is nicknamed 13 turns. There are 13 pretty nice corners here. A lot of bike riders like to come down through here and hit these little twisties. It is a bit of a fun ride for sure. I believe we're coming up to the one hairpin, a little right-hander into oh no, maybe not. It was further up, I guess. And that is the end of it there. Right. A couple more turns and then we pop up. What's kind of cool is if you've never been back here in Monowheely, there's a couple of like ranches back here. Stables, all of that. A lot of guys that raise horses up here. So super nice back in here. But this is a little sneak around the back way down to the pulley. And this comes out right by where Rohoyan Golf Course is. Right there off of the pulley. So that probably saved us 5-10 minutes of time waiting in traffic there, hopefully. Yep, it looks like the traffic ends right at the junction over here. So skip past that and then get down into work. So it is Tuesday. Didn't really shoot a closeout for yesterday's video, but we did get it posted up. I did work with one customer yesterday that was looking to trade in her 2018 Honda Odyssey, and she was hoping to replace it with a newer Broncos Sport. Fortunately, we weren't able to come to a deal yesterday. We couldn't get numbers close enough to fit into her budget, unfortunately. But we're gonna keep working on it today. We're gonna try on a 2021 Bronco Sport that we have in a pre-owned one. It's pretty nice. I just need to find out status on what's going on with that bad boy in used car inspection and see when that's going to be ready to go out. So that's on the list for today. I also need to reach out to my man Troy from Mirage Paintless Dent Repair. I need him to get in contact with a customer we sold a Mach-E to at the end of last month that had a little door ding on it that he should be able to PDR right out. I gotta put those two together on that. And then we need to try and make some sales. So follow up on some leads, make some sales. I do need to go into our lead calendar, I guess is what you would call it. Because from what I'm hearing, they haven't filled in our schedules, so gotta make sure I fill in my schedule so I actually get leads while I'm working. But that's kind of what's on the agenda for today. I did get, like you guys saw in yesterday's video, that Wrangler 392, a nice Hemi unit. I got that up out of service so I can shoot a video with that and our Bronco Raptor. So we're gonna shoot a little short form content today with those two, a little side-by-side comparison because they are direct competitors. Spoiler alert, I would take the Raptor. Raptor's quite a bit more expensive, doesn't have a V8 in it. I did get some time yesterday to go and drive the Wrangler around, and I've been in a lot of Wranglers. Like my time at 4 Wheel Parts, I've driven about every Wrangler you can think of. I've driven TJs, CJs. The only thing I haven't driven is like an old Willys maybe, but yeah, I've driven CJs, I've driven Scramblers, I've driven YJs, TJs, JKs, JLs, JTs, LJs, automatic, manual, of every single one of those. I've driven a lot of Jeeps. On the new JLs and JTs, I've driven every engine combo. I've driven the diesels. I've driven the 4xEs. I've driven the 2-liter turbos, the 3.6s. I've driven them all. Yesterday was the first time I drove the 392. Honestly, wasn't impressed. For obviously the one we have is used, but for something that I believe is like 85 grand or something like that, brand new, 80 grand brand new, I was not impressed at all. Tons of power. Definitely tons of power. Can't take that away from it. I'm pretty sure that thing's faster than a Bronco Raptor is. That thing has a lot of power. But that's about it. Other than that, it is no different from a regular Wrangler Rubicon that is 20 grand cheaper, 25 grand cheaper than that thing is. Its suspension system didn't feel great. I'm pretty sure since a stock one, it just has an exhaust on it, but suspension felt very wallowy like most Jeeps. Still drives like a straight axle vehicle. Always has a little bump steer going for it. Not a confidence inspiring drive for a 400 plus horsepower vehicle. Bronco Raptor 100% feels more planted than that does. And that's just nature of suspension geometry, guys, and suspension systems. I don't care what you say. A straight axle vehicle is never gonna perform as well on the road or ride as well as an IFS vehicle is. It's just not gonna happen. The IFS vehicle is always gonna ride better and always gonna feel better on the street. You're not gonna beat a straight axle vehicle off-road. That 392 Rubicon, I guarantee you, has better articulation off-road. I won't necessarily say wheel travel. It may not have better wheel travel because of how long the control arms are on a Bronco Raptor. And like all Raptor products, they have tons of wheel travel there, but that doesn't necessarily translate directly into usable articulation if you're talking about rock crawling or lower speed, higher angle type of stuff. So I think, in my opinion, that Wrangler would beat the Bronco Raptor on a trail, more of a low speed, more technical trail. But of course, the Bronco Raptor is going to destroy that thing in higher speed, more open environments, like sand dunes, like more, sand or dirt trails that aren't super technical. That thing will eat it alive, and I guarantee it's going to ride better doing it. With the Fox live valve technology that it has, the suspension system is just so much better on the Bronco Raptor. Now, you can't ignore the elephant in the room. The Bronco Raptor is still like $10,000 more than that Wrangler Rubicon is. And it has its own disadvantages too. I think the Wrangler in a lot of ways looks more complete. I've never been a huge fan of the Bronco Raptor's fender flares, albeit they look a lot better nowadays being color matched instead of the plain black of the first year or two that they're out. But I think as a whole package, the Wrangler looks more complete. I still do think the Broncos a better looking vehicle overall. 100% has a nicer interior, more niceties in there with the 12-inch screen, all of that, and it has everything that the Wrangler Rubicon has plus more. It has, well, might take that back. I could be wrong. I don't think that Bronco Raptor has a sway bar disconnect. Don't believe it does. Could be wrong, but I'm going to find out today. I'm going to go poke around in it a little bit more. I do know it has front and rear lockers. I do know it has a trail turn assist. It has all your essential off-road goodies. And that good old 3-liter EcoBoost motor does really good and sounds good. I'm a fan of the way that motor sounds, probably even more than the 3.5 in the F-150 Raptors. But yeah, we're gonna get a little short going with a little comparison of those two bad boys today. I just need to figure out where I'm gonna shoot it at. Well, yeah, we're pulling up to the dealership now. I'm gonna get over to the parking garage, get this bad boy parked up, get some shoes on, and we're gonna head in to start this day and see what today holds. Hopefully we can put together a deal for a Bronco Sport, like what we're working on, and get something figured out for them. If not, hopefully we have some other deals we can start getting rolling on here soon. So I'll see you guys a little later on today. Alright guys, so the day is over. I'm home. Little recap on the day, because when you guys last saw me, I was driving into work. We hadn't really got started for the day yet. But now we're at home. I'm chilling. Had some nice Thai food for dinner, and I'm here wearing MD Restoration t-shirt. Fun fact, I used to be a project manager for MD Restoration for a little bit of time. Wasn't cut out for it, unfortunately. 24-hour company is too much work. That was crazy. Couldn't keep up with those boys, and that's why I'm back here selling cars now. But how did today go? So, ended up taking a phone call not too long after getting into work. Sorry, it was probably a little bit ways in. I did some follow-up for a while. Handled some stuff that was kind of pending, like getting in contact with my man Troy over at Mirage Paint This Dent Repair for the PDR on the Mach-E that we talked about previously. He's reaching out to the customer, getting that scheduled. So that was pretty solid. Followed up on a couple of other things I had pending as well. Got the ball rolling and everything good on as many of those things as I could. Then I took a phone up from a lady from the Big Island that was interested in STX F-150 that we have in stock. Got her a price on that, including adding on some running boards that she wanted. And pretty much now just waiting for a response on if that's going to work for them. They do need to get something done before the end of the year. So we do have time, but we want to get the ball rolling on that. Let's see if we can't get that finished. Right around the same time that I was working on that, I also got a text message from the customer I was working with yesterday on the Bronco Sport that we didn't get put together. She was willing to make a little bit of moves on her end in terms of budget. We were going to make some moves on our end, and fortunately we came to an agreement on a 25 Bronco Sport. So she's going to be taking delivery tomorrow after we finish a programming recall that we need to do on the Bronco Sport and get it all cleaned up of her brand new 2025 Bronco Sport. So she's getting a big bend in desert sand. Real nice unit. It's going to be an awesome replacement for her 2018 Odyssey. So awesome that we managed to put that together for her. That's kind of where I wrapped up the day. I do still need to get back out there tomorrow. So I'm delivering an F-150 Tremor that I sold on Sunday. They're going to take delivery tomorrow morning. That truck is already cleaned up, sitting out front, waiting. I do need to get a license plate put on it, a template, and get their spare key, and they're good to go. We'll do delivery first thing tomorrow morning. I then need to run out to the storage lot again, and I need to get the van that I have sold for the local church unburied and up to the lot. There's a nice spot on the lot that I can park it right now, so I'm gonna take advantage of that before that gets filled up. So I'm gonna bring it up. I'm still waiting to hear from them. We have an agreement on the deal. They're good at the numbers, put their deposit. We just need to get together to get the check for the rest of the money, as well as have the president of the church come out and sign all the documents. So pretty close on down. We should be finalizing that this week. So that would put us at 2 for the month, including the Broncos part we did today, and hopefully we can close up that F-150 deal for the Big Island tomorrow. So we're making progress. The month is starting off pretty good. We got to keep up the pace. Like I've always talked about in the past, things haven't changed with that. My goal is to try and get to 15 every month. Haven't managed that goal yet. The closest I've gotten, I believe, is 12. I had 11 last month. So I haven't gotten all the way there. I keep trying month in and month out. We're not going to give up. We're just going to keep going after it, and eventually we're going to achieve that goal. Along with, like I said, working on trying to figure out this commercial business and all the fleet stuff. So we're trying to get more irons in the fire. We're going to keep it going. This is one of those irons with the social media. We got to keep it going. I did have last month, unfortunately we didn't come to a deal, but I had my first ever customer reach out to me that was from social media. So he found my YouTube channel, saw what we're doing out here on YouTube, was interested in possibly putting together a deal. Unfortunately, we didn't have a truck available at the time that met his needs. I have reached out. We did get back a truck that he was kind of interested in that was out on loan, but haven't heard back from him right now. Who knows, maybe he's out of town for the holidays. So hopefully we do hear back. If you are watching the videos, brother, look forward to hearing back from you if you haven't already purchased a truck. But that was awesome. That definitely gave me a little extra push, along with a conversation with one of my good buddies that lives all the way in Utah, that had mentioned that he keeps track of the videos, and he was a little disappointed he hadn't seen anything in a few weeks. So I'm done slacking. We're going to keep going with it. We're going to keep building this thing. I do still need to shoot more short form content. I've talked about that for months. It's just tricky to find the time sometimes, but if I spend less time making excuses, I can spend more time making short form content. So we're gonna get it going together. I'm gonna shoot something tomorrow. I've talked about it for a couple days now, on something with the Bronco and the Wrangler. I do have both vehicles up there now, ready to go. I just couldn't find a space to do it on the lot today. But I will figure it out one way or the other tomorrow, even if I need to pull one over to, well, actually, I don't know if the Bronco Raptor can get in that parking garage to shoot on the roof, where you guys have seen videos before, but I'll figure something out. I'm going to shoot content with those two rigs tomorrow. Hell or high water, I'll get it figured out, and you guys are going to see a short on those two as well. As well as I'm going to come up with some ideas to shoot some other funny videos. I know you guys have like some of those, the funnier little shorts that I've done, like the 400 credit score guy one, and the Super Duty buyer one. Those are always fun. I'll do more content like that, because that is fun stuff that makes the day more entertaining. But that's a wrap for tonight. If you guys can hear it in the background, I'm squeezing on a little popper squish thing that belongs to my daughter. It's keeping my hands busy while we talk. But that's a wrap for tonight. We'll see you guys back at the store tomorrow. It'll be Wednesday. Got a few things to do. We need to sell some cars. Keep the momentum up. Keep the ball rolling. Appreciate you guys for coming out watching these videos. We'll see you guys back tomorrow.